All right, we are back for another episode of the Wrestle Like a Girl podcast. Today we're here talking with Rebecca, Roper, and Tony Rotundo about the Wrestle Like a Girl Empowerment Camp with Randy Miller's on September 26th, hosted at the Dan Gable Museum. Rebecca, tell us a little bit about, what you're doing at the Dan Gable Museum and how this came up as an idea.
So Kyvan Gadsden actually brought this idea to me. It was back in June, I believe. And he called me and he was like, "Hey, Becca, I have an idea that I think would be very powerful for the Waterloo Cedar Valley community." And he was like, "Can you call me whenever you get the chance?" I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So I called him, and as soon as he said, "I want to do an all-girls camp with a senior level, high level female wrestler as the instructor," I was like, "Oh yeah, we got to talk to Jim about this. I think this is a great idea. I think the community would really love it and be pumped and excited about it." And within like 20 minutes of getting off the phone with Kyvan, I got the okay from Jim for us to bring it to Dan, and Dan was immediately all on board. He was like, "Yeah, I think this would be great for the museum and for the girls in the community. Let's work on it." And we immediately started getting to work, planning the details of the camp that same day that Kyvan brought the idea to me. So it's been very fun.
So what were the first steps that you had to make once you got the plan, you got the okay? What were the first steps you had to make?
So we started talking about potential camp instructors and what that might look like and who we would try and get. And then once we decided on that, we started looking for a sponsorship for the camp. I initially filled out some grant forms through our local Walmarts. I filled out 3, and I was just hitting a brick wall with them. And I actually texted Tony. I had spent the weekend with Lisa Ecola, Mike DeRoe's widow, and she had given me some ideas, brainstorming for girls stuff, because I'm not sure if you're familiar or not, Sam. Mike DeRoe was a pioneer with helping women's wrestling, and so she was really getting me pumped up and excited about it. And on my way home, I was at the gas station filling my car up, and I texted Tony, and I was like, "Hey, Tony, I have this really cool idea. I've been brainstorming with Lisa, and I'm having a hard time finding a sponsor. Do you know of a route that I could do?" I wasn't even asking him to sponsor. I was kind of trying to get some brainstorm ideas from him, and he immediately was like, "Oh, I had been looking for something like this to give back and help with the girls wrestling community, and I think this is the perfect idea." And so it kind of worked out beautifully. And that wasn't even my intentions, but it was awesome the way that Tony just kind of stepped up into the plate without even being asked. It was he told me I was his angel, but he was definitely our angel on this one.
He's a good person to text for stuff like that. Tony's
it was
been a good
it was
sponsor
funny.
with me.
I had been talking to Sally Roberts of Wrestle Like a Girl, and I as Becca said, I wanted to give back. I wanted to do a little bit more. I want to do more than just photography. Obviously, I'm mentoring you guys, Sam and Jude, and Home Mat Advantage, but I want to kind of do more with that. And so the timing was perfect because I wanted something specific. I was happy to make a donation to Wrestle Like a Girl and just let them do what they want with the money, but it's funner to kind of be involved in something specific or some things, because my vision is to do a couple of these, though I would love to have Rebecca travel around the country because she's amazing at organizing this stuff, and you'll hear in a second like some of the things she's packed around the camp and in the camp. But yeah, it was complete kismet and awesome and fate. So right, like as I was texting Sally for a couple days, to be honest, this, Rebecca came along, and as most things that have happened in my wrestling life, adult wrestling life, it starts with, hey, could we use some of your photos? And then it turns into like, hey, that's a really great idea that I'd like to be involved with, which is great and fine and cool. So yeah, it was a really good fortuitous coincidence that the two sort of ideas collided, and here we are with an empowerment camp, which is awesome.
Starts with having good photos, Tony. I think you covered that pretty well, and then you made the contacts. That's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. So Rebecca, after you kind of got it set up with Tony, what were some of the other things that you had to get done? When did you contact Randy, and what was the process like of setting this camp up?
So initially, Kyvan made the contact with Randy, and Randy showed interest, I think, from the first conversation he had with her. And I would say probably about within a week of us talking with Tony, we had Randy confirmed for the camp.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's
pretty,
nice.
it was pretty, I'm very effective with making sure that people can't forget when I've asked something. I follow up very frequently, and Randy was a champ. She was like, I've got to check my schedule to let you know what dates are available, but I am definitely interested and want to help you guys with this camp. So once we were able to get her on board, then we were able to start nailing down the specific date of when we were going to host it.
And you ended up deciding you're gonna host it at the Dan Gable Museum. Were there thoughts of hosting it anywhere else, or was it always just holding it there?
Oh, it was always holding it at the Dan Gable Museum.
Really?
Yeah, we really wanted to do this for the community, and it's the first all-girls camp at the museum. And the Iowa wrestling community, especially the girls community, has grown so much in the last few years. The state tournament, it's not sanctioned, but the state tournament this year for the girls outgrew the gym. Wow. And it was standing room only. Yeah, it was awesome. And that wasn't even with all of the girls there. Some schools, there was a bad storm that weekend with snow, and some of the schools, the districts wouldn't let the bus drivers drive them because of the road conditions. And so that wasn't even as full as it was supposed to be.
Wow.
And it was mind blowing to see that it was standing room only. There were fans packed out. It was just such a cool experience. I had chills the whole time. I was sending my boss pictures, and it was just awesome. And when I saw that, I knew that the Dan Gable Museum needed to start doing things to help keep that momentum going. And the museum has always supported girls wrestling. We've got a bunch of wonderful senior level women's athletes on our walls in the museum. Patricia Miranda, and sorry, I had somebody calling in, but Patricia Miranda, Helen Marolis, Victoria Anthony, Adeline Gray. And so to be able to see the momentum in Iowa, and then for us to be able to help contribute to that momentum, I just knew, I was like, this is right up what the museum is trying to do, our purpose and our business motto. And when, like I said, when Kyvan called me and suggested it, I don't think I could say the words, yes, I love this idea fast enough.
That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to do 1 minute. We have approximately 1 minute, and you just kind of market it. Tell what the camp's about. I can clip this in, and we can post it. Just to market it and tell what the camp's about in 1 minute. Go ahead.
So the Dan Gable Museum is hosting a Wrestle Like a Girl empowerment camp with 2008 Olympic bronze medalist Randy Miller. We are very excited, and I think I'm most excited because Dan Gable is going to be showing up to speak to the girls and give them some words of encouragement on Saturday during the camp. We are very excited. And not only is this camp about empowering the girls to be the best version of themselves, but we're also going to be giving them an education and tour around the museum to share with them some of the history that the United States has with women wrestlers. And I am so excited to share this with the girls and to leave them with a wonderful taste in their mouth when it comes to wrestling.
That's great. And this is September 26th in Waterloo.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. All right. So, Tony, when you first heard about it, obviously you said you had been looking for something like that. When you heard the details, how excited were you? What were the things that you were most excited about? Just what was the thought process when you first heard about it?
I was extremely excited because it's exactly what I wanted to promote, right? So girls empowerment, period. Girls empowerment with wrestling is exactly where I wanted my sponsorship to go. I'd like to do a series of these. I'd like to do them. Love to do one in the Bay Area where I live. I'd like to do one on the East Coast, but this is going to just set a perfect precedent because we have Becca's leadership, we have the Dan Gable Museum, but it's a perfect place that I would like to have my sponsorship land, which is empowering girls and throwing in some wrestling on top of that, right?
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's exactly what I had in mind. I mean, I didn't have it, and I didn't realize that that's what I had in mind. I mean, obviously, I wanted it to go towards girls wrestling, but you know, I'm super blessed to just watch this happen and watch Sally and Becca and you know, Victoria Francis did a great job on the design. I mean, they're just it's clicked so perfectly. Yeah, in terms of coming together. So, and the whole community is behind it. There are going to be gift bags. There's just going to be all this great stuff. Ellison Schwab's going to take photos. Like, it's really going to be special.
She's a good photographer.
She is a good photographer. She's a great photographer.
So Rebecca, this is kind of right up your alley. Kind of why Jim wanted you aboard at the Dan Gable Museum is organizing events and social media, if I got that correct. So how awesome is this that you get to use your talents and what you're good at to produce something like this?
This is a first for me, and I am so excited about it. Jim, Dan, and Mike have been very, very, very supportive with this planning. That anything that I have needed or contacts that I have needed to reach out to people, all three of the guys have really just gone above and beyond. And we have some more surprises for the girls on Saturday. I don't want to ruin it and share, but it's the whole community, not just the Waterloo community or the Wrestle Like a Girl community. The wrestling community in general has really come together and been extremely supportive for this. And I think that just goes to show why we all love this sport so much.
For sure. And it'll be exciting to see where the girls are coming from. If it's just Iowa or if you're able to get some reach from other states and such, how far they're coming. Is there a sign-up sheet or do you just show up?
There's a sign-up sheet, and we actually filled up the camp with less than 3 days.
Wow, that's incredible. So how many girls are coming in total?
45. We've left 5 spaces open for our wait list, but to be honest with you, our wait list is already over full, so it's going to be 50 girls. But we wanted to keep it at 45 for the sign up just in case we had something happen where somebody can't make it, and that way we've got those extra spots. So
right. Yeah, that's really cool. 3 days. That's really quick to fill up. So do you know where all the girls are coming from?
The majority of them are, I would say probably like 35 of them are within a 25, 30-mile radius of Waterloo. And then the rest, we've got some from northern Iowa, like closer to Dubuque. We've got a few South Iowa. So they're all pretty much Iowa girls, but some are a little bit further away. I'd say we've got about 15 who are making about a 2-hour plus drive.
That makes sense. So, looking forward, I'm assuming this is going to go fantastic, and it's already really starting to come together well. Do you have plans for, or hopes at least, for doing more of these in the future, possibly one in the Bay Area?
1000%. We would love to help with that. Like I said, this has really been a wonderful experience for not only myself, but for Jim, Dan, and Mike. We've really fed off of the energy that we've gotten back from everybody else and the excitement that we've seen from not only the girls, but the coaches. We've actually had a few of the high school coaches reach out and ask if they could attend so they can take notes during the camp. So everybody's just kind of coming together and wanting to grow and learn together. And I definitely think that not only will the Dan Gable Museum be involved in more camps like this in the future, but I think we would absolutely be willing to travel and help make this a staple throughout our country.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That'd be awesome.
Well, I know everybody would be looking forward to another one. How is you and I going to be involved in all of this?
So we have actually reached out to a couple of college coaches that we know are supportive in the girls movement, and let's just say there's going to be more than one school represented showing their support for girls wrestling and Iowa high school girls wrestling as well.
That's great. You know, I was just thinking, I was at a camp with Eric Guerrero about a month ago, and it was a high school showcase camp. It was for the college or the high school kids to get recruited by colleges, because obviously they can't do much right now. They can't do visits, and so they live streamed it, and a lot of coaches really benefited from it. But I was wondering, I bet in the future, as women's wrestling starts to grow in college, the women's college coaches from King can start to come and maybe attend this to do some recruiting too. That'd be fantastic.
That would be a dream come true if we could have a camp that's done throughout the nation that college coaches are actually wanting to come to recruit. That would just be like the best icing on this already awesome cake.
Right.
Is this camp going to be live streamed?
You know, until you said that, nobody's asked me that, but that's a wonderful idea.
I would consider it. I think it really worked out at the showcase camp. They had Flo come out, and it was right after a big World of Wrestling tournament, a roller series. And so Flo was already out there, and they sent a guy over there, and he did interviews about where the kids wanted to go to college, what they were looking for. And I think you might be able to go for a similar look there, but just an idea.
No, that's a brilliant idea. Trust me, I'm going to be making some phone calls as soon as we get off this interview.
Right. Beck and I are going to be texting like within 5 seconds of ending the interview.
So, you know, you got Randy Miller coming. You got Dan Gable coming, some college coaches. How was it hard getting all the people coming, or was it pretty simple? Was everybody buying in immediately?
So everybody bought in immediately. Whether or not they could come or not was a different story, but everybody that we reached out to was willing to either send a video showing support that we could show or come. So if they couldn't make it, they were still willing to support us in a different outlet. And so we've really, really, really appreciated all. Like I said, it is just, we've gotten support from so many different people in all different parts of the country. It's just been phenomenal.
That is awesome. That's really, really exciting to hear.
That's where I'm enthusiastic about future versions of this, because so many people have bought into it. You know, at the highest level of USA Wrestling. So it's like, hey, let's keep this momentum going. Let's do them all over. It'd be great to do one in Pennsylvania.
Yes,
Obviously,
that'd be fantastic.
Sanction Iowa is happening. Trying to get girls wrestling sanctioned there. Their same effort in Pennsylvania. So, I've got ideas in my mind of people that can help coordinate. Brooke Zuma in Pennsylvania is a perfect, person who potentially could help coordinate in Pennsylvania. So, yeah, just kind of trying to keep that momentum going.
Well, if you guys are looking for Pennsylvania or Tennessee, those are 2 states I can help you with.
Right on, Sam. Thanks.
Well, I got my Dan Gable Museum hiding right there. But
Love it.
yeah, I love that sticker. So I was thinking more. You could stream it. I think you should reach out to Tony Hager and Cody Goodwin at Iowa Wrestle, and I know they've got a lot there. If you wanted to stream it, they'd be a good outlet to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all I got for you guys. Anything else you wanted to let everybody know about this camp? Your thoughts on it, and yeah, anything else you'd like to say?
Just that we're so excited. We feel extremely blessed to have all of the support that we have had. And we're not only excited about this camp, but like I said, we're really excited about the future of wrestling and the future of girls wrestling in general. It's just, this is an exciting time, and we feel very blessed and special to be able to be a part of the momentum.
Well, that's awesome. I really appreciate you guys taking the time today, and I'm really excited to see how this camp goes. I'm sure it's going to be awesome, and I'm excited for the future ones as well.
Thank you so much, Sam. We appreciate it.
Sam.
Thank you, Tony. We appreciate you too.
Thanks, Becca. It's been a pleasure working with you. Let's do more of these.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Right on.
All right, that's a wrap.